Hi, everybody, and welcome to Music Career Radio. I'm your host, Nani Noam Vazana, and my guest this week is Skyler Jett, a Grammy recognized vocalist for vocals and arrangements on both Titanic and The Bodyguard, replaced Lionel Richie at the Commodores on tour, and he's also the founder of Music for Global Change. He defines his mission as bringing awareness to and breaking down the barriers of racism and dismantling stereotypes of all kinds using the gift of music. Together, we will explore ways for DIY musicians to stay socially conscious and generally talk about the power of positive music to improve your artistry and your connection to your audience. As you know, all work on this podcast is done voluntarily, and we also collect donations for scholarships for independent musicians. So if you want to support us, and you should, because we do a lot of work for up-and-coming artists to support our community and enrich each other with information, support, and we also have a back-end group that music professionals offer support for DIY artists directly, which is called our Inner Circle. So if you want to be a part of that or help other musicians get a better education, please go to our website. That's whydiymusic.com and /donate. And you can be a part of this whole system and this amazing community that we will be communicating together on a weekly basis. And you could also send a direct PayPal transfer to paypal.me/Noam Vazana. And we have Skyler here waiting in the waiting room. So hello, how are you doing? And welcome to Music Career Radio. Hey, we like that. Namaste, man. Ooh, you're on mute.
Namaste.
Hey.
Uh-oh.
How are you
Am I
doing?
on mute?
No, not anymore.
Can you hear me?
I just unmuted
Okay.
you. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
So, welcome. Thanks for being
Blessed.
here.
Thanks for inviting me.
How-
It's beautiful.
Sure. How are you doing?
Oh, staying blessed.
Yeah?
Staying positive, stay blessed. Matter of fact, stay positive relentlessly, right? From the moment you
Although
wake
you
up to
don't
the
feel blessed sometimes. Yeah.
well, it is life, right?
Yeah.
The sun ain't out every day. Here come the rain, right? But if you're prepared, you can get through anything. Yeah?
I agree. This is what
Yeah.
DIY is all about, man.
Yeah, I love it. And thank you for this platform. It's just like so beautiful for you to invite people to express their feelings about
Thank you so much.
movement, about movement and mission, stuff like that. Really cool.
Thank you. Thank you for being a part also and for sharing your thoughts.
Yeah, it's
One
really
of the
cool.
things that I really like about your work is the fact that you're socially conscious. And it seems to me that you're creating positive music intentionally. So not a lot of people do that. And I mean, composing music could be a very lonely profession. And I think that's why musicians are also kind of prone as a community for mental problems, because at the end, the isolation becomes desolation. And therefore, we kind of
That's
suffer
right.
from both sides. And I guess that's also why quarantine didn't affect musicians that much, because we were sitting in our room before and after.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit more about your choice to create conscious music intentionally?
Well, it's because I have some heroes that, for years they did love songs. And it wasn't until they produced a social conscious song, their careers went to another level, right?
Mm.
And now they became melody messengers, if you will, right? They're melody messengers. So I go sing melodies, but the message is about healing and education and solving problems, right? And instead of about my personal life or who I am or who I want to try to be, right? It's not about that. And at my age, I've been doing this a long time, so I got to give back. Whether I make a dime or a dollar, I got to give back. And so, because somebody did that for me, right? My mom, my grandmother, my aunt were all musicians, and my uncles were managers of a lot of artists. They gave back, and so that it trickled down to me, and I love putting people together, just like you doing, right?
Thanks. I mean, it is very important, I feel, first of all, to have a community.
Yeah.
And also, like you say, when you reach out and give something back, that it makes you bigger than what you are actually. Like yesterday, I had this radio interview on 103 FM, and the guy was asking me questions. You know, he was kind of giving me and adoring me with statements that I've never said. You know, he said, you said this and that, you said that and that. And as at some point I said, like, man, hold on, you make me bigger than I am. I'm not that big, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you know what I mean? Like, if we kind of focus on our egos and stay in our little bubble of writing about our own emotions and our own problems, how much do we really reach out to other people? I think it has a big component of communicating with your audience. If you kind of expand your musical behavior scope to another level. Did you experience the same thing?
All of that. But I'd like to say this. My mom died in 1991, right? And we were, I'm a single parent child, and we're on, government money, right? That's my mom had asthma and she couldn't work very much, but she was a good singer though. That's what kept her spirits, right? And I gotta say this, but she taught me something one time. She says, just because we don't have money, baby, doesn't mean we can't help.
Yeah, it's about the soul, isn't it?
Just because you don't have money, don't worry about it. We can still help, right? Now you got people out here with money not trying to help.
Most of them.
You know what's insane to me? You know what's insane to me, and that might get a lot of trouble. Bill Gates has a $644 million yacht.
Really?
Right. Yeah, check it out.
What?
That would take all, you know how many homeless people you can get off the streets for that? A yacht that you don't even drive very much, right? So I'm saying I'm doing it with no money. Imagine if I had money. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can give it so many things. There's so many ways we can make people's. Well, you got to use money. It's capitalism, but yeah. So I just see a lot of spending billionaires do, and they could have helped another soul, right?
Yeah. Well, it is like that. Also, in a larger scope, I guess governments are doing the same. It gets us back to the ego question, because it's more dependent on how much you want to invest for yourself or you improve your capital rather than helping others. And if you look at the pandemic situation now all over the world, then governments are not doing a lot to support people. Well, of course, in Scandinavian countries and some of the European countries, yes. And I've seen that in the UK. They had an amazing support program for the arts, especially during the pandemic, but it doesn't happen in many places. And so in my eyes, I see that as the responsibility of the government to help the citizens rather than the private people, the rich people. But of course, if you are given such wealth and such opportunity, then if you don't share it, then there's probably something wrong with you. I mean, I can't say it in any other way. Like, I feel I have to give back already. So why don't
and you can't take that money with you.
When you die, that's it. You're gone. You're not a pharaoh.
See, people that don't have money, they're trying to get it. People that have money, they do the stupidest things with it. It's just amazing, right? You can sit on the sidelines and watch people with a lot of money and the things they could help people with, but that's all right. We can help ourselves. And that's what has to happen right now,
that's
right?
The DIY spirit.
Well, we have to do it ourselves, right?
Yeah.
People are more powerful than those that are in power, right? They still need it's democracy, so they still need our vote. That's all you have is your vote, and it's about the numbers, right? So no, I always say this about greedy people. If you ever want to bring them down to earth, stop buying their products, and stop working for them. See what happens
Absolutely.
then. We do have power.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, we do have power, and people don't get that though. Like, but it's a part of not being a part of a community, because it seems to me that the world is now evolving towards individual, not only mannerism but also satisfaction. So you kind of feel that you got to take care of yourself, and the rest of the world is against you, and then fuck the rest. Like this is the general feeling.
Are we on the podcast?
I get other people.
Yeah.
Well, right?
Yeah, that's good. Listen, but see, so now I use music is not only for healing, it's a tool to get the message out. I remember one time when Barack Obama was running for president the first time, the Republicans kept saying to him, "You're too ambitious. How are you going to get that done?" Now, we never had a black president before, so this was an experiment, but it was an amazing experiment, because when you get hired twice, somebody liked you. Yeah. And if they hire you again for another 4 years, you must have did a good job.
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
So it's about ideas and not so much your money, right? So when they said that, when they asked him that question, he said, we got a lot of amazing, smart people in our country and around the world. Why don't we ask them to help us find a solution? He didn't make it about him. He made it about, we have enough smart people to figure it out.
But I guess that's any politician's job. They don't really do anything alone. I mean, like, especially if you're elected as a president, you have a whole crew around you. So like, in some cases it doesn't really help, but you just have to be a good manager to kind of manifest this around you. Yeah.
Well, we're talking about manager. I love what you're doing. You've learned a whole gamut in these years, and how to connect with people all over. See, that's a talent in itself. A lot of people don't even have that kind of courage, right, to do that, right? And you love playing music, and you're amazing at it. So you have to combine all of that together, right? And I love that, because you're marketing yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's the beautiful thing about it, because you can now. The record labels are gone, right? Matter of fact, they want you to pay them to play your record. Back in the day, they gave you some money, Back in the day, they gave you some money to make you feel like a millionaire. You know what I mean? New cars, all that stuff. They don't do that anymore, right?
Yeah.
I hate the word "they." I mean, that's not that I hate it. It's just like
a very interesting point. Yeah.
The word "they."
I like that. Yeah.
No, because you heard it so many times, but they don't like that. They're not going to like they. Who the hell is they? Right?
I totally agree with you, man. It's like removing all responsibility from yourself once you use the word "they." I think this is the biggest problem in the world as far as inequality and racism, because people say they are racist. They are giving us problems, man. No, it's
there's that word. That's that word.
That's the problem.
I have a problem with that word, because they always go, they ain't gonna like that. Who is they?
Yeah.
Right?
The smaller your micro niche is, the bigger your audience will be.
Yeah, but then some people give in to they and believe because somebody said they are not going to like it, that puts the brake on what they're doing, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So your mind, I mean, we're all human beings, so we all got thoughts. That's the only thing that's independent from the next person. Because if you take a canvas and take two people in two different rooms and give them some colors, I guarantee they're going to start out with different colors when they start painting, right? Right? Have you ever seen those people when you have a painting. Somebody comes up and go, I would have put green over here if I was you. Or I'd have put some red on this side if I was you. So all of us have our own thoughts, right? And I love telling this story because I saw it for myself. Oprah Winfrey's last show, after 25 years of being on TV, asking questions, right? And so they asked her a question at the end. They said, what have you learned from this? She said, I've learned 3 things. People want to be seen. They want to be heard. And they want to be felt. That's the average human being. From everybody, you want to be seen, you want to be felt, you want to be heard. And those 3 things right there is every human being. So say you're marketing, there's 7 billion people on the planet. So say you're marketing, you have to go find your people or the people that agree with that, whatever you're trying to sell in the world. But you can do that now because we have the internet, right? You got to go find
an opportune moment that we are living in, actually, because everything is accessible and you can buy your own equipment and produce things at home.
And I think it's beautiful because I can sell whatever I have directly to you. There was no middleman. There's no middleman.
There's nobody telling you what to do. I mean, like, it's not only about being a control freak, which I believe I am, especially about myself. I'm not a control freak about other people or ways of work with other people. But when I do my own thing and I work with myself, just with me, then I like having everything, like, really sorted out. And then once you step out of this, out of this realm of bringing people into your world, rather than you stepping into their world, the balance shifts. What do you do then? Yeah.
Well, a dear friend of mine, David Chan, was head of international marketing for Hewlett Packard. Hewlett Packard invented the computer. So this guy, he was a head of international marketing. So he had like 60 employees under him, right? And he says, what you do is you go find something that's moving and you attach yourself to it if it's in your lane, right? Because people are inquisitive. And he says, Skyler, check it out. You've been on over 2,500 records and stuff like that. Tell you what to do. Go out there and bloggers are talking about songs and people are talking about their favorite song and you was on that song and you interject yourself and go, I had a great time singing on that song. And they go, who the hell are you? Right? Well, that drives people, being inquisitive, drives them to either my site or something to find out were you really on that song? You know what I mean? And all of that, right? But it also drives people to you. Now it's all about what do you have in your store?
I always say that to musicians that seek consultancy with me is that their audience is not their musician friends or music professional colleagues. Like, when these people give you advice about your music, they see it from a different point of view, from whatever works in their little world. And they are not the right people. That's true. These are not the people who are going to buy your music. People who buy your music, and they take the time and effort to come to your gigs, and they go in your web store and they purchase your CD. Like, like, hardly anybody listens to CDs anymore. And still I'm getting people buying stuff on my store. So that makes a big difference, for us as artists. And these are the real people that are going to be there for us whatever we do, no matter whatever we do.
Looking for a phone.
This is my virtual chat.
I can't see you anymore. What happened?
I think we have a little malfunction with the app. Let's see when it comes back. Man-made instruments. Eventually it's gonna always be a malfunction somewhere. There's gonna be a malfunction at some point.
There you go. You're back. By popular demand.
Yes, man.
The good thing about it is like I said, and it's what I was saying earlier. Everybody has their own thoughts. You know what I mean? And so no matter if you got arms or legs, just like me, we're always thinking something and beyond from there. So, but if you can get an audience that you agree with, what he was saying, when you attach yourself to something that's already moving, someone will question why are you in the group? All of that. But that shoots them to your website, and there's your store. You got your pins, you got your t-shirts, you got your music, right? You drive them, you got to drive them there, and they're only going to be there for like 8-9 seconds before, if you don't keep their attention, they're gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, 7 billion people on the planet, and you have to go out and find your audience.
If you're good with 20,000 of them, you're in a good shape.
Just 100,000. I think there's about 13 million people in the London area, right? All you need is 100,000 of them to spend $10 with you once a year. That's $1 million a year. Yeah. Most people can get by on that or something like that.
Yeah, I think even if you have only 20,000 people, that's you're already making a decent career as a musician. And these people can be spread out all over the world. Like if you look at my social media followers and the people who sign up to my newsletter, I have 24,000 people that follow me in this and all kinds of platforms. And these people are there for me when they are, when I'm bringing out a new record, when I'm going on tour. There are a lot of surprising gestures. And I don't know if
you're feeding them a lot of content, and they love how you deliver it, right? And so that's why they keep coming. What I'm talking about is keep coming back, people, right? They keep coming back. If they're 44,000 fans, that's because they came back after they saw something from you the first time.
Yeah, and 14,000 of them are registered to my newsletter because they signed up after the show. Yeah, so these
How about that one?
People that I actually met, which is amazing. Most of them I met. I've seen them on the road. Maybe we're not best friends, but I'm like, I would probably recognize some of them when I see them again.
Facebook is crazy like that, right? I used to have a radio show back in the States and for 3 years, right? And I started having artists from Europe on the show. And it was so cool because all my friends at home or in the States would go, "Who was that? Man, that was great. Who was that?" See? So I go, wow, I'm introducing the world to both sides. And that's what needs to happen most, right? I've proven it. I'm writing with a lot of musicians around the world, collaborating, and music is the number one language in the world. You can have people from several countries playing on a song, right? And nobody would care. All they care about is, man, that made me feel good, right?
Sure. Could you identify?
And that's going on all over the world. I've never been to a country that didn't have music. I always make it. I love going to find countries where you have a totally different instrument, and because the kids at home in America don't get to hear that all the time. They listen to the same stuff that they listen to on the radio, right? They don't expand out of that. And I want to bring a little bit of both of that to both sides, right? And so I got friends now that I connect to collaborate with each other from both sides of the water. And they've never met each other before, right? But hey, you guys should write together, right? And the most beautiful thing to me was a drummer friend of mine in Germany, right? He tells me, man, one week he called, "Hey, Skyler, man, I really want to play some gospel music. I love them gospel drum, man, And I say, I'll hook you up with my friend Sylvester Burks, who plays 5 churches every Sunday for the last 40 years. He would know
churches.
every Sunday.
Wow, how does he do it?
Well, he goes. Well, he starts from the morning up. He's going to one church to another, playing piano. And what I love about it, he goes. But this guy is so amazing. You could just start singing. He knows where you're going. You know them kind of guys, right? Yeah, that's him. Because he plays behind so many singers. You could just start singing, right? You don't have to figure out. Right? He is that cool. So I say, this is so beautiful. So the drummer goes. He goes, well, Skyler, man, I hook me up with him. So not only did I hook him up, he wind up flying to California to hang out with my buddy Sylvester, right? He's from Germany. Awesome. It's all because he wanted to play some gospel music, right? And so this is the coolest part of all of it. So my Sylvester back home, he said, Skyler, I'm gonna blow his mind. There's some amazing gospel. The biggest gospel artists are coming to my town, right? To the town of Oakland. He went and bought him tickets to go, right?
Great.
So when he gets there, because he want to play gospel music, my buddy took him to see the biggest gospel artist over there. Now he's from Germany, white guy, walks into this black situation, right? And everybody's going, wow, man, how you doing? He said, Skyler, I had the most fun. You know, that was an experience for him. You know, there's all black people at the church mostly, right? And they just fell in love with him. You know, and he's at the, you know, listen to this music. Now, this is the crazy thing about gospel music. If it get going right, everybody go stand up. You know,
it's really nice.
And check it out.
Documentary about Aretha Franklin, and I wish, like, oh God, I want to be in this church.
I just got to say this. So the next thing you know, he got hair on his arms, right? Hair coming out of his arm, and he getting the spirit and stuff like that. He's from Germany. He's from Germany, right? and he's an amazing drummer, nice. Right? And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's what music does to you. You can go to college all you want to. Like my mom said, you know, if you ain't got no common sense, it will never make sense. Okay? So, right? And she said, you can go to college all your life for music and stuff like that. How does it feel? Music is emotion. How does it make you feel? Right? That's all it should be about. Like, man, I wouldn't have put that chord with that chord because that, you know, technically it doesn't work right. I say, but how does it feel? It feels okay.
It's something they don't teach you at school. I think they should include psychology lessons and, you know, sociology lessons at school because we don't get these skills. Also, you know, like nobody teaches us how to do our taxes. You know, like super important things that we gotta learn at school. They're just not there. I don't know. True. But like I said, let me tell you about Music for Global Change. Can I segue into that? Yeah. Sure. I wanted to ask you about it anyway, so you're doing my job for me.
I tell you what. Let me back up. You asked me about it. That's going to feel better.
You want me to ask you? All right. Let me find the question. Too many questions. It all
written down.
Yeah, oh man, absolutely. I don't know where the question is. Oh yeah, here. Can you tell me more about your work with the Foundation Music for Global Change? When was it founded, and what are your goals with it?
Well, I've been writing conscious music probably since the 80s. The very first one I wrote was with Ronald LaPrade, the bass player of the Commodores, who wrote Brick House, right? And we wind up writing this song with this nutritional doctor. And it was an amazing thing because we wrote this tune, Keep the Music Playing, right? And what we did with the money was we took every fourth child in a family would get to go to college for free. We did that with them. Yes. It was awesome, right? So, you know, that song, the money from that was my first time to give back in music.
Awesome.
And it was the most beautiful thing because it was played simultaneously on every radio station in Alabama at the same time.
Mm. Wow.
Right. So I'm getting on the plane going back to Hollywood, right? And I got on the plane and people were clapping because they saw us on TV the night before for this one song, right? Uh-huh. And that sent me on my way. But I wrote love songs forever, but this feels so much better to me right now. Is to be able to heal people with music. And there's so many pioneers and people before me, I can see why they went in this direction, right? It's beautiful to give back. I'll let everybody, they let everybody talk about it. Hey, look what I'm wearing, and all that. You can talk about all that, and then you come in and say, hey guys, here's a solution. Check this out. And let it be over some amazing music and beats, right? And if you start singing along with it, you really get it, right? Like, what's going on? Marvin Gaye was my biggest hero at it. What's going on? When he did that record, it changed his life forever because he was doing all love songs. Women going crazy over this guy, and he got to a point in the Vietnam War where he said, "Man, we got to tell people what's going on." That's where that title came from, right?
Yeah, that's a part. It's a part of what we do.
And John Lennon made it second for me because he was playing with the Beatles and Girl Going Crazy, he's doing love songs, right? Yep. And then it wasn't until he did Imagine, it really set him apart from the rest of the guys, right?
Yeah, he became a sort of a messenger after writing that song.
One song, right? You get to Bob Marley, my other hero, right? He's talking about one love, one heart.
My shows.
Well, those three, and there's many more, right? But I saw what happened to them after they did a social conscious song, as opposed to the songs they was doing in their career, and because they became bigger, right? So my plan is to go out and find all the social conscious, amazing acts out there and put them on festivals, good news festivals, right? Because you come to hear some good news. You come to dance, you come to eat some good food, have a good time.
Is already happening?
Well, that's something. It's in the plan. It's in the plan, and I've had it for a while. But and I'm closer than ever to delivering it now. That's the most beautiful thing. But what's been amazing. And I was trying to tell you before, I had this brother on my radio show from Portugal, one of the Europeans that every month I would do this. And so he got on the show, and at that time I didn't know I was about to move to Scotland, right? And I moved to Scotland. I called him up. He go, "Hey, Skyler, come on, Portugal. It's on a 2.5-hour flight, right?" So I go to Portugal, and I write a song with him that was a song that I'm writing for a film. And I said, well, why don't you do it with me, right? The cool thing about this is that his whole band, not all of them speak English, right? And they killed that song. They speak English, but not real good, right?
So he translated it to them?
Huh?
He translated it to them?
No. Like they speak some English, but it's not fluent, right? And so that, and I'm gonna show you how this works. So anyway, they killed the song. So he goes, Skyler, we're going on tour in a couple of weeks. Why don't you come and do some of these hits with us, right? Through Portugal. And I go, let me think about it. Okay. I was like, all right, I can do that. I can do that. And the beautiful thing is, Pedro started introducing me to all these amazing musicians in a country of 10 million people. And and it's so wonderful because, like, this one song I was on, I think only 60% spoke English, but you would think that's something that you hear from America, right? It sounds just like the cats at home. And
Yeah. It's
you would have
global,
totally,
isn't it?
huh?
Like specific styles have become global styles. So it's not you cannot call Americana anymore, for instance, because
That's why I
everybody
call
does that here in the Netherlands. Like a lot of Americana artists buy. Yeah.
that. That's why I started music for global change, right? So we can all write with each other.
To reach
We can all
people.
help each other. Yeah, and help each other get on gigs. I don't care where you at in the world, right? It's just music, you know. And no,
Yeah.
I didn't. I met a couple of people that didn't like music though. That blew my mind. I said, "You like music?"
People
Lady
didn't
go,
like music. Who is
"She."
that?
Wait, I asked the lady,
No
"You
way.
like music? You like music?" She go, "Not really." She said, "Not
Really?
really."
What do
My
you
mind
like,
was
man?
blown. I was blown. My mind was blown. Right. So,
I
but
don't believe it. Like, what do you mean I don't like music? Isn't there like a song that you identify with?
it's crazy. Well, I'm an old guy, so I did watch something happen that was amazing, and it wasn't good for musicians in my lifetime. So in the '70s, the
Mm.
late '70s, the Bee Gees, right? Remember the Bee Gees?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
so when the Bee Gees came on the song, that brought in disco. And that's why we start losing gigs to DJs. It started then,
Mm.
right? So,
Yeah.
instead of going out seeing human beings playing, you're going to watch a DJ bobbing and weaving his head with some lights, right? That's cold. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's why I want to throw these festivals because I want to put human beings back on the stage. I want young people that's never really experienced the human sound to come out and enjoy it because it's where we started. And humans have a different, with a computer, you have to program your thoughts into the computer. Then you read it back to yourself, right? That's not, you know, music from humans is spontaneous. It's instant
It's created.
gratification.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
the
you
part
come,
that I'm saying with all the music that is happening today, that a lot of things are programmed in advance. So, like, even if you see a band performing live, they are singing to a playback. So nothing can
wait,
really happen
you
in the
playing
moment.
music and there's no human beings on stage.
Yeah, what's going on?
Come on,
And with
what?
the invention of the Moog in the 80s, then this whole synthesizer thing came in. And now,
That
like, I have friends that are composing film music uh, with samples only. Like, when I compose music for film, I only record real instruments. So I write a score, and we go to the studio and we do a recording. But I have
right,
friends that just program the entire score in the computer, and you can
right.
hear it. You can hear the difference. They're like,
That's what I'm
hey,
saying.
hang on, that's a sample right there.
Yeah. Yeah, but for
They
me,
start
that's what I'm
arguing.
saying. For
No, you
me,
can't hear it.
it's not fair for us to let the young people on this side of 1996, this side of 1996, we want young people, at least I do, that's my thing. I want them to see some amazing human beings playing their instrument, with feeling and stuff like that. And it's spontaneous and
Yeah,
instant gratification. That's the
yeah,
beautiful thing. Now, if you go set some young people in a room, go put them in a room with a DJ, then bring them over to this other room and sit them on the floor around some amazing, talented human beings. It's a different vibe, and
yeah, sure.
I don't want the young people to miss that because it got us here, right? And you gotta. They'll love it more. But I told this guy I was going to do this. He goes, but Skyler, that's going to cost a lot of money to hire human beings. That's sick.
Yeah, yeah.
We
If
got
you look
way
at this, what?
we got way more money than they ever did back then, and people were out
Yeah, yeah.
performing. Come on now. Yeah.
This is about
So
taking care of yourself first. Yeah. Do you think it's related to the pandemic situation? Like, since the pandemic started, the it was like a liability to human interaction from the beginning. And do you think it will be a liability in the long run? Because it seems to me that already now people are kind of more reserved, and they're less likely to interact with strangers on the streets. Like, I'm doing walks, like I'm walking every day for 50, 60 minutes, and people see me and then cross to the other side of the street. But it's not only that, they also have like a suspicious look on their faces, and people are afraid to gather. And there are no birthday parties, there are no orchestra rehearsals. I have a choir, so we don't meet anymore for rehearsals. We kind of sing together on Zoom, which is really frustrating because you have latency, you can't really hear each other. So
Right.
what do you think about that? Like, you're striving to get communication as your forte. Is the future of live music about non-communication? Are we going to performing drive-in stations rather than having live concerts in the long run?
I wish I could tell you that, but I do believe we can get our hands around this, come up with a solution for this virus. It's happened before, because I've been here in my lifetime. I remember AIDS was an epidemic, and people stopped making love, right? I've seen some of it happen in my lifetime, right? So, but we all get through it. We're going to get through this too. Now, for me, since you got to stay home and all the stuff like that, work on your art and craft so that when you can. I bet you some people lost their jobs. There's 40 million people in the United States that lost their jobs, right? Right, and a lot of them won't be going back to that job. But I always say this: how about a person that's been in the garage working on some idea, and you're dreaming, I really want to do this, but I got to go for security to work at somebody else. This is your time to release that. This is your time to do it, or work on your art and craft. So when we do come out of this, there's an old saying: if you're ready, you ain't got to get ready, right? So instead of working on some art after this is happened, start doing it now, since you ain't going nowhere. And then by the time it's over with, you're ready to launch.
It's true. It's like what Nina Simone said. Like she said that you should be reflecting the times that you're living in as an artist, and otherwise you don't have a lot of value, because people can sing about love or whatever, and internal suffering at any given point. But if you're singing about current events, it defines you from the rest. It makes you stand out. And not to mention she's one of my heroes.
Hold on. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. No, let me turn this Skype off because that ain't fair. Yeah, it was banging in my ear like. Well, we're good, but you know what? I always talk. It's not about the problem. It's about the solution. Can you hear me?
Yeah. It sounds like an old clock.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's not about the problem. It's about the solution. Right?
Yeah. I mean, it's about It's about the way to solve the problem. It's not so much. I don't know if I'll reach a solution, but it's about the way going there. So like what you do when you make music. You're making music, you don't know where you're going to get.
We can all talk about the problem all day long. Who has the solution, right? And so that's where my mind is. How do we get out of this crab bucket together, right? But now I found a way by helping people get collaborations going, because we have to help each other. If we're gonna be waiting on somebody else, we're never going to get there.
DIY, man.
That's right. That's right.
But it's a part of your thing, right? Like you love connecting people and bringing people together. It's a part of your thing. Like since we met, we never actually met. We only met online, but you've been having a lot of ideas, like for people that I should talk to and stuff. And when I was contacting them, they were always also telling me like, oh, this guy, he's a connector. He recognizes people who fit with each other. Yeah,
that's right. It's right, because I believe you can't get anywhere by yourself, right?
Yeah.
So if we help each other connect, right?
Yeah.
You go, Skyler, I'm looking for this. I need to get this done, and I need to find this kind of person. Well, I'll have that in my mental Rolodex, and when I'm in a party or something like that, I meet somebody, I go, this is the person. Noam is looking for this guy, right? And then you connect it. But I'm always listening for what people want, and then try to connect them with the right people that can help them. And hopefully somebody does that to me.
Exactly. Well, it's about building a community of like-minded people. I like to call it our private human marinade, because you have to marinate yourself with like-minded company to strive and to thrive as well.
Exactly what my buddy from Hewlett Packard told me. He said, connect yourself to something that's moving already, right? Just connect yourself to it. And people go, wow, you're in the group, who are you? It's the end of that's about being inquisitive, right?
Yeah.
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 So there is a little bit of delay, but that's okay. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. So Noam, we're going to have to talk, because you're very, really, really talented, and people don't know that. How are you getting your records to the mass? How are you marketing your records?
What do I do to release my records? Well, basically, I was signed to a label with my first record. And I didn't really like the way of working with them specifically. I'm not saying that I'm against working with labels. This label didn't work for me. And I think they were more concerned with releasing singles and kind of hitting on all possible targets, rather than doing artist development and releasing a concept album, which is what I like doing. I like doing a concept project and then do it properly and release it.
So how would you how would you market yourself like that then, if you don't want to be? Huh?
Yeah. So since then, I went DIY. So after my first record, I released 2 records since then, and I'm doing the third independent one. And I turned to crowdfunding. So for the financial aspect and the support and creating a buzz around the album. So I'm doing a crowdfunding campaign, and then afterwards there is a rounding up campaign as well. So that's maybe a little bit hidden from the eye, because only the people who took part in the crowdfunding campaign take part of the rounding up campaign. But what you do is that you have to keep on nurturing these contacts that you have met with your fans on a longer basis. So what I do is I throw parties, activities, concerts. I have a back-end community on my website where fans can interact with each other. I have a secret group for fans on Facebook that they could share, stuff with each other. I go on live chats there every Sunday to interact with them. I have a subscribers group, the people that support me on a monthly basis. So there's a lot of stuff going on the back end. So the people who want to support me directly and to enable us to create art together. So that's my community of people. And then apart from that, sorry?
What'd you say? Excuse me.
Yeah. And then apart from that, I also do my own PR. So then instead of taking an agent that will then translate what I'm trying to say to someone else on the radio. So I'm saying, fuck that. I'm not doing that. I'm going by my knocking on the door.
Yeah.
You get to know some people like that. And the first time I done it, they were flabbergasted. They were like, what is this chick doing here? And they looked at me like really not believing what is going on. And that happened 4 or 5 times. When I came the 5th time, they were like, oh God, she's here to stay. So if I'm not going to listen to her single, she's going to keep on coming,
How about that?
So yeah, they started listening to stuff.
Yeah,
and that's how it started.
That's tenacious. Yeah. See, That's what I'm talking about. Staying positive relentlessly. That's being tenacious. But the cool thing though, I bet you found this out. The audience you grow on your audience, and they're coming directly to you, and that's the cool thing. That's what I'm saying. 7 billion people. You got to continue that all the time until somebody can help you out with that situation, right? An A&R person and stuff like that. But you're doing all of them. A&R. You're producing. You're singing. This has nothing to do with your media life, right? Right? And you really have it combined really well. I'm just giving you credit for that.
Thank you. I'm doing my best. I'm learning all the time. So I think that's a part of it. If you're open to learn, kind of the more you learn, you realize you know less. And this keeps you going because
Yeah.
it's true. Like if I would say now, I know everything. I'm like, okay, then I'm going to stand still. I'm going to become stale.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will probably get bored because I get bored quickly. And that will be the end of my musical career. Instead, I choose to learn and interact with people. Yeah.
Well, anytime you have ideas,
learning.
Anytime you have ideas around music for global change, let me know, because it's something. If we get enough people doing it, a couple of million people writing social conscious songs, where we can open up to the festivals and labels and stuff like that. It's going to open up a whole new genre. There's jazz, blues, whatever, you know what I mean? But social conscious music is not really a genre yet. And there's millions of people that's doing it out of the 7 billion. So, that's where I want to grow. And so you write social conscious music, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I have some in each and every one of my records. I have at least 1 or 2 songs that are conscious and really speak out about really, things that bother me in the world. So, or maybe about things that are comforting me in the world. It's also like I have this song, for instance, Hey You, which is, I wrote it to give others a sense of self-worth. So when you listen to the song, you reward yourself with feeling worthy and accepted and loved and feeling that you're not. It's a B song on the album. It's like, it's a song that we recorded in the dark when the sound engineer went home. This is the kind of song we recorded it live on the piano.
Yeah.
And I just love the song. And my producer was like, no, you're not. I don't like the song. It's not going to be in the record. And I was like, hell yeah, it's going to be in the record.
Wait. There's that they guy.
Absolutely.
But they're not going to like it. You can't do that. No. It's always somebody obstructing you from your feelings of what you want to do, right? I love that Prince story of Prince, like negotiating with Warner Brothers, and they go, "What do you want to do? What's your next record? What you going to do?" He said, "I'm going to do a rock record." And Warner Brothers goes, "Oh, hell no, man! You got them girls going crazy out there on the dance floor, all that, and you want to do what? A rock song, right?" And Prince said, "Yeah, I'm a musician and I'm feeling some rock. That's what's going on with me, right?" And they told him no. They told him no. Well, check this out. Prince is brilliant, though. He was brilliant. So they still owned his name for a couple of more years, right? So what did he do?
As an artist, formerly known as,
Well, that's brilliant. It's brilliant, right? But here's the thing. So once he got his name back and he severed his relationship with him, what's the first record that Prince did? Purple Rain. You know how big Purple. There's a movie. You know how big it was, right? Think about it. Prince tells Warner Brothers, "No, I want to do some rock record." They tell him no, and that rock record turned out to be bigger than all the R&B tunes he did. Right?
Yeah.
And now,
but
he owns.
Huh? And now what?
And now at that point, he had started a label. He owned the movie, all of that, right? So never tell a musician, no,
Yeah.
I don't think you should do that, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
You know the story about Bill Withers. He went to the record label, a few record labels. He was shopping around with his first record, and he was playing "Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone," and
Right.
the record guys were like saying, "Man, you got to have an intro. Every song has to have an intro." It's like, no, man, I want to release it. No, we're not gonna sign you if you don't have an intro. And it's like,
How about
okay, and then he
that?
went DIY. Yeah, it is like, what are you
We're not
talking
going to
about? You can't let-
sign you. We're not going to sign you if you don't do what we say. Crazy.
I love it. I mean, okay, you don't have to. You don't have to. I love Amanda Palmer, by the way. I don't know if you've seen her TED Talk, and she has a book. It's called The Art of Asking, and she's like was one of the pioneers of the crowdfunding
Oh wow.
idea.
Yeah.
And she was signed. I don't remember the name of the company, the label she was signed to. She was signed to a big label, and then she released the record, and 25,000 people bought the record. And then the label dropped her because they said it was a failure, that she only sold 25,000 records. And then she said, well, okay, you think I'm a failure? I think I'm a success. And she went independent. And now she has, well, these 25 people are supporting her through Patreon. So these 25 people didn't go anywhere. It's just her audience. The 25,000 people are still there.
Right.
And she's making $1.5 million a year from Patreon. So it's like, it's not, doesn't make any sense.
And she's a failure. And he says she's a failure. Yeah. That's what you call failing? Oh God. Sick.
Yeah.
It's sick.
That's what they teach us in school. They don't teach us to be independent. They don't teach us to go and get our own thing out. They teach us to get a job and conform to something else.
That's what the whole thing's about.
Nobody taught me how to get my own business off the ground.
But see, that's courage.
And this is why I started my DIY music, to help other musicians launch an international career on their own.
Yes, and get the courage to do it. It takes courage. You know what I mean? So everybody can't walk out on stage, right, and feel comfortable. It takes courage, right? But the good thing about it is, like, when you recognize I can do this for myself, and go out there and do it. But like I said, if you can get now, my buddy told me, he says, Skyler, go out and find a bunch of college students that in media and stuff like that, and they need to graduate, and then you give them some shortcuts, right, on how it hands-on, right? And I do this sometimes with people with videos, stuff like that. Hey, listen, this will make you graduate. Get a great video, and this will make you graduate. To show them that we know what you're doing, right? And but I use my lyrical content as the script. I don't deviate from it. Exactly when you hear the word, you see the word, right? I don't want you to be at the zoo over here or at the lake over here when I'm talking about something else. You seen them videos, right? It has nothing to do with what you're saying, right? And so I've been lucky to really get some guys that do videos and show them that it's the timing. A lot of those guys do videos, but they don't have timing. Do you know what I'm saying? They don't know the groove or anything, or how to put it. And I teach some of these guys how to do that. Really beautiful. And I teach them with my own songs. But if you can get that out, you got 25,000 people or 250,000 people, and you can get songs out to them, and they can donate whatever, right? Really wonderful.
Yeah, I agree. So just a little shout out to our listeners. If you guys want to ask Skyler any questions, please submit them in the comments section, and I will raise them during the Q&A section. Will be in a couple of minutes, and I'm going to put in the comments as well the link to submit your questions.
Wow!
One more question before. What?
folk get to call in. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that.
People can ask you questions live. So one last question before we go to the Q&A.
Okay.
I see that you have a lot of experience in the music industry, for both sides, right? Like you are a DIY artist, but you also work with labels and publishers. So can you tell me the main difference that you feel in defining both worlds? And when you encounter DIY musicians, what do you think their biggest obstacles or mistakes that they make when they're trying to promote their music?
Well, because record sales is, minimal now, imagine that. Steve Jobs goes, he goes, hey guys, I got all these servers over here. Why don't you guys just upload your song and you can sell them for 99 cents.
Yeah.
But people don't know he's actually taking 30 cents from every one that's uploaded. Right?
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. So now you're only making a little portion of that. Now, he doesn't go out and tell people that you're there. You got to do that yourself. These are the kind of things record companies did. You got to do for yourself. So that's what I'm saying. By going out and finding your audience, now you get them. You got to get them basically 1 million people to almost make $1 million, right? And but if you find but here's the thing: if you can find a way to now you got your songs in a place. There's a thing called spin up. SPINNUP, right? Now, what they're doing that's different than the TuneCores and the CD Babies and all stuff like that. They're not really a label, but Spin Up is under the umbrella of Universal. So say you put your song up there, and they start putting it on these platforms where people are listening to your song. Hey, I really like that, and commenting and stuff like that. If it gets to a point that it's at a fever pitch, then Universal will go, hey, why don't we talk about us signing you? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're already under the umbrella. But the cool thing about it is you can do a whole album worth of material for 29 pounds. How you gonna beat that? And you own everything. Now you own the publishing. You paid for that service, so you can have you paid for the service to put your songs there, but they don't get anything from it. Now they pay out once a month, after 3 months or whatever it is. They pay out right now. At least you got a funnel. At least
6 months.
At least you created a financial funnel to yourself, connected to your music, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's what I mean by you could do it for yourself now. But at the same time, now you gotta find the genre that your music is in, and it's just like my buddy said, connect yourself to something moving, right? So that's why I say I do world music, right? Because that covers everything. If you just say I do R&B, that's your audience. Pop is popular. Right.
Yeah, it's very
so
big.
So you.
But within
you gotta,
pop, you have different genres as well.
That's what I'm saying. That's the cool thing.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying before about the micro niche. Like if you find your micro niche, and the smaller it is, the more defined it will be, and the bigger the audience will be as well.
Yeah, and if you find your sole purpose, you're gonna be all right from there, right?
Yeah, but that's as a human being. Not necessarily about music, huh?
yeah, and so, but what I'm saying, there's so many ways now that you can do it for yourself. Finding the people that you a lot of times if you got a Billboard magazine, right, and you will see in there jazz, blues, all the genres, right, and some of them make more money than others, right, as it goes up. And but it's a trip. I wrote some songs on Al Jarreau's record, and Al Jarreau does jazz. He does jazz, so that's only that's mostly we call jazz musicians music, right? But and those type of listeners, right? But only thing is, Al told me, he said, Skyler, I didn't really get my record deal till I was over 40, right? But I've been able to buy a couple of homes at it, and put my kids through college, right? And that's jazz. So so you can imagine what pop makes, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where you gotta kind of judge where you want to go in that form. As far as genres go, what is my music? Is it, if that's what I say, I do world music, which is positive vibe, right? It has nothing to do with yourself. You know what I mean?
Well, it is directed to others. So I think 50% of what we do is communicating with the audience. We do it not only for ourselves. And if we say that we do it only for ourselves, we're kind of fooling each other. And not acknowledging your audience doesn't mean, if you are acknowledging your audience, doesn't mean that you're a lesser artist. Like a lot of people say, oh, if I start writing for my audience, I'm not true to my art anymore. But I don't think that's true. I think you are, because you're making something that is communicated, you got to think about the other side.
Well, there's the recording side, then there's the performance side, right? And when the labels used to sign you, those two elements would have to come together, right? Along with the marketing and how they make you look and whatever, the persona they try to put on you. But but performing is a whole nother thing. Now, I'll tell you the truth. If you look at back in the day, from where I come from, they didn't even have monitors, so you couldn't even hear yourself singing. Yeah. And all those people in Motown, they were singing in perfect pitch. You didn't have to auto tune. You don't have to auto tune. You have to do none of that. See, that's the thing. I want these kids to learn about real instruments, because if the DJ start going and you unplug his system, you ain't hearing him no more. But the guys could come up there with some real instruments, right, and play. They can still make a living.
Yes, it's true. Even if you don't have any electricity anymore.
What? That piano over there right now, you could do a song. You never had to plug it in.
Yeah, it's true. And you have your voice wherever you go. It's also part of
that. That's the number. That's the number one instrument in the world, is the voice. It's the number one instrument in the world. There's two different, back home, there's two different unions. There's a musicians union and there's a vocal union. And there's a reason for that. You can't plug your voice into the wall. That's your instrument. Your body's your instrument.
Yeah, I guess when you are singing, you're also expressing an opinion about something. It's not the same as playing an instrument. You could hide behind playing an instrument. You can hide your thoughts and feelings, but with your voice, you can't.
No, and when I'm producing singers and artists in this field, I tell them I don't want you to listen to the radio 2 months before we record. They go, why wasn't it? No, I'm just saying. This is what I tell them, right? So I don't want you listening to other singers. I want to hear what's coming out of you.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's find the lyric. It's just like on a movie. Like start a movie, you got to get a great director, and then you get a great director. You got to get a great actor to pull it over, right? Yeah. Everybody do something different, right? And so, but I learned this from my buddy that had millions of hits out. Remember that song "Brick House"? She's a brick house. The Commodores.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You remember the okay? My buddy, the bass player who wrote Brick House on there, he said something to me that was so profound one time. He goes, Skyler, if you don't hear a song from either the piano and the vocal or the guitar and the vocal, if you don't hear a hit song there, it doesn't matter how many tracks you put on it, it will never be a hit. Sure. You spend all the money in the world. Right? It's got to have.
And a lot of times, like you hear these songs being released, and then they're like, yeah, the singer is not good, so that's why it wasn't successful. But I say no, the song is not good, because it's a bad song, a good singer can make it decent, but a good song will sound great on a crappy singer.
See, the thing you want though is for both of them to be equal, right?
Yeah,
And I mean, you got a great track and stuff like that, but you still have to say something on there that's going to draw people to it and make them want to sing the melody that you sing, and then they got the message, right?
yeah,
And
sure.
but the part I have fun with is, see, I'm writing these tunes right now, and then to see little young kids singing it, right? That's the most beautiful thing in the world. That's why it's ageless, right? It's ageless, right? And you could take an 80-year-old finger and go over there by your piano and hit the key of C, and then tell him to go sit down, get a 10-year-old boy and go over there and hit the key of C, right? You never saw the key of C, but you know what it sounds like.
Yeah, yeah. I remember watching one of your lectures that you gave that exact analogy.
It's true.
If you did, yeah, because music
It's like,
doesn't have, it's either good or bad, and it doesn't really have a style either. Because that's why I like making concept music. Because every album that I released until now had a different style. Also, every film score that I composed had a different style. Because
well,
the style is only a tool to serve the emotion, to express the emotion. It's not the
if
other
you
way
were going to
around.
write a song, if you was going to write a social conscious song right now about healing, what would the title be?
Ooh, be yourself.
There you go.
Yeah,
I mean, who else you going to be, right?
yeah.
You
Everybody else
got.
is already taken.
That's right. So when I teach writing lyrical content, there's a lot of people who just write a lot. They'll just write down what they're feeling. But when you ask them, okay, what's the title? They go, oh, hey, I haven't come up with that yet. Well, I tell people to start
Come
out
with
with
that first.
start with the title first, because the verses are your opinion about the
Yeah,
title. So that last thing that you say that weaves it into that title, the last little notes and all that stuff, like that last word has to connect the title, as if I knew you was gonna say that.
yeah, I agree. It's a very good method also in marketing, to start with your message and then work out the story rather than
Right,
the other way around. Don't write the story, then try to find something what to call it. Give your statement first.
right. Come up with a title. You had to
Yeah,
come up with your title for this show, right? It's your brand. It's what people remember, right? And no matter what's under your umbrella, whether you're doing the music, whether you're doing media, you're interviewing people, it's all under your brand, and
absolutely.
right. But
Yeah, absolutely.
but but I'd love for you to promise me that you're gonna do a record that's social conscious. The whole record is about how we could change some. See, and the way I do it when I'm talking to students, I say, what is it? What is it that you would love to change, that that everybody talks about, but nobody's narrowed it down to something?
Mm. Are you asking me now,
I say
or is
that to
it a
students,
general
right?
answer? I say that to students. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if there was something you could change, what would it be? And go find a melody that's really catchy. With You got to come up with the title, but when you find
Mm.
something really catchy, with the average person that's not a singer or whatever, if they start singing along with it. Those are the people that buy your records. Musicians, we give each other music. We don't, you know,
Yeah.
but it's for music lovers. It's for people that go out and buy music and what catches their ear and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And I want to have radio shows like that where you can just wow, that was an amazing song, and the message. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know that work because this guy was at my house, and I was living in the country, and he came out, and I played him my song that I wrote for homeless people.
Mm.
Do you know, right after the song was over, the town from my house was 5 miles over a mountain, right? Do you know that dude said, I'll be right back. Where you going, man? Oh, I'll be right back. This guy drove all the way to that town 5 miles away to give a homeless person $50.
That's good. But that's the thing that we want to have our music channel, right? Like to take action. I think that's also why I do what I do. Not only with music, but also with this community that I'm creating on Why DIY Music, is I want people to take action because words are cheap and whiskey costs money, you know?
Yeah.
Well, you gotta do something. Pick up yourself from the chair and do something. By doing that, you will feel better about yourself too.
Think about this. A lot of people, I don't care what country you're from, somebody's been working in the same building for 30 years, right? And so when they retire after that time, they go, "Oh, baby, let's get a passport and go somewhere and see something now," right? And when they get there, they have so much fun, and it's so beautiful. They go, "I wish we'd have did this when we was younger, when our bodies was younger." You know what I'm saying? There's so much to see on the other side of the world, you know. And so you got to be open to, don't sit at home. See, the trippy thing is they work 30 what is it? No, it's 40 hours a month. It's, what is it? 40, something like that. You work all that time, 40 hours. Okay. You work all that time. And then at 30 years, you go, I should have went out and met some new people and go travel and go see something. Don't do that to yourself. Right.
I rather buy an experience by traveling than buying, an object. Yeah. It's my opinion. I rather experience things than having liabilities and possessions. Possessions and liabilities. I don't know, in my eyes. Yeah.
It's a trip because you watch those people. They come home. They got the clicker. They're gonna watch TV after they've been working in this building for 30 hours or whatever the hours are, 8 hours. So they come home. And start watch TV. And go, oh, look at that country. That's beautiful and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But
we want to go there,
and not until they get there. That's the mind blowing part, right? Yeah. And so I go to these countries where I can't speak English, but you know what I do? When I meet somebody, I go, music. And they go, and they will always take me to somebody that plays music, right? And then I'll find somebody who speaks English. Every time. Music is the number one language in the world.
So I go, like if I go to a new country and I want to experience like the local cuisine, I would go to a shop on the street, just any regular, like a shoe shop or, like a supermarket. And I would ask the cashier, where do you eat? And there's like, and they would try to tell, there's this restaurant on the square. And it's like, no restaurant on the square, man. Where do you eat?
Right.
And that's what they get. Oh, maybe she wants something else. And then that's how I get the best food when I travel. Because I give me directions to this insane marketplace with all the crazy things hanging from everywhere. And now, it's awesome.
I hear you make amazing pastries.
Cakes.
Cake.
Yeah, cakes. No, I can't have grains, so I make things without grains in them. So I can make a really good cheesecake and a very good chocolate souffle. So you're invited anytime.
Oh, blessings. So have you been to Portugal?
Of course. My grandmother is Portuguese. So
they got some of the best pastries in that country. That country is like, it's a trip because, we was going to play one night, but we didn't start until 12:30. Right. So now we at the house and usually I'm at a place we go hit about 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So those people don't even go out to 11 o'clock at night to eat.
Yeah. You walk down the street and you see the restaurants are empty, and you think, oh, it's a bad restaurant. No, wait until 11. It will fill up.
11 o'clock at night, right? So we played at 12:30, and played for an hour and a half. Then right after, hey man, we're going to this club, down the street. It opens at 3. I'm like, what?
It's true.
Do you know the clubs stay open all the way till the next day? Because right after that, we're going to go to this other club now. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, right? It's a trip in that country. I love it.
It's fun. Very nice people also.
Oh my God. The sweetest people. Some of I got some beautiful friends in a couple of bands out down there, It's so much talent. And the tricky thing is one person might be talented at 4 instruments, like it ain't nothing. And some of them don't even speak English, but they bad, they're amazing, right? You go, wow, how is this? 10 million people in that country, right? And I'm like, I want these people to be heard in America and the rest of the world. That's what Music for Global Change is about, right? Yeah.
Thanks so much for being a part of this. I have a few more questions, but they are much more fun than what we've done until now. I promise.
Okay, I ain't scared.
The last part of the interview, I usually I bring forth the Bernard Pivot questionnaires from the 60s. I don't know if you know it. He's a French talk show host, and he was always ending his interviews with asking 10 personal questions. They're not that personal. I mean, like you could say the way that you and just thing.
It's going in and out. Yeah.
Right?
Huh?
All right. So, ready?
Yeah.
Ready. All right. What's your favorite word?
My favorite word?
Yes.
Equality.
Well, I think I'm losing you there. Yes.
You got me?
What is your least favorite word?
I can't.
Sometimes you're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, it's going back. It's two words. My word.
Oh,
you got me now?
Yeah, I got you now.
My least favorite word.
The wonders of it.
You got me?
What is your least favorite word? Yes.
They. Don't.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Doesn't matter what they think. You can do it for yourself.
What turns you on creatively, emotionally, or spiritually?
Recording and performing and writing those things. Just music is just my life. It's all I've ever done, right? And as long as I'm playing music or around musicians or music lovers, I'm safe.
Nice. So music gives you safety.
It gives me everything. If I wasn't playing music, there'd be no reason to be here. I'm not gonna go work for somebody else. You can believe that.
Yeah. What turns you off?
Negativity.
Yeah.
It's like negativity is that, it was, my mom was my biggest hero, right? And she said, you can draw by energy, you can draw anything to you, right? If you go and associate yourself with negativity, guess what's going to surround you, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Thought creates reality.
Right. And if you go around positive people, it's going to inspire you and give you energy.
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot of negativity in the world. And I think for nothing also. Like we kind of focus on that rather than
the good thing? There's more people that want to get along than people that don't.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see that. Like I'm from Israel, and then when I tell people that I'm from Israel, there's always a second O. So it's like, why? What do I mean? So it's like, so where are you from? It's like, from Israel. Oh, there's a second O coming up, and then I know they have an opinion about that. So, like, if you define your world by this second O, like, where will you get to? What is this about?
Yeah. Well, like I said,
you don't look at the other person in the eye at all. You're like, yeah, okay, I know everything about you now.
Right. Yeah. One word does it. That one word does it to people. It's a reaction from them, right? Instead of being open to go and experience it for themselves, because if even if there was a serial killer and stuff like that, but he treated you nice, that's all you could say about it.
You have a different experience from that person,
but then he didn't treat.
Ask you, so what?
If they treated you nice, that's all you could say about them. Yeah, but they didn't treat me like that, right? That's all you could say, right?
Yeah, it's true. They only your experience to rely on. And then people would start telling me off about, the conflict. And I would say, like, what do I know about the conflict? I'm not in conflict with anyone. Like, when I was
yourself.
living in Jerusalem. Yeah, exactly. When I was living in Jerusalem, I would take my car and I'd go to the Palestinian village to fix my car. I had friends there. So, like, I don't have that reality of conflict. And all these people, most of these people want to talk to you when they meet you on the street. They will have a conversation with you. So I think it's mostly the top. The way you have the conflicts are coming from the top down, not rather from down upwards. Yeah.
Exactly, but you know what? I'm not playing anything. That's my phone and my homeless song going, and I'm getting a call there from.
That's what happens in my choir. Somebody's phone rings, they have to make me a cake.
Oh, you don't want me making you a cake? I'm horrible.
Make me dinner.
Well, you know what?
You said you can cook a good.
I could do. You know what? I do barbecue ginger salmon. I do that one.
We're all set. We're all set.
You like.
We'll exchange. I'll make the cake. You'll bring the barbecue.
I'll do the barbecue. And then then I make the best popcorn on the planet. I'm just going. What? I'm trying to turn it off.
2K. Put it on silent.
I got to put it on decline. Hold on.
Yes.
Golly.
All right. Couple more questions.
Yeah.
What is your favorite curse word? You're surprised.
Damn.
Right there.
Damn. Because damn could go, dude, damn. Or you can go, damn. See, it's two different.
Damn, that's
that word. That's true though, right?
Yeah. What sound or noise do you love?
The sound of music. Everything is noise. Everything is noise, right? So we are music, right? Even when you're talking, you're spilling notes. Even when you're talking, from your tone is notes, right? Now, if you start walking, that's a beat.
Yeah, true.
Right? And now if you start singing, you put some emotion with it, you can take people to another place. Right? How beautiful is that?
Very nice.
Right? I'm only trying.
That's the only thing you got to do. Try your best. I mean, like, there's nothing else to do.
Yeah. Stay positive relentlessly.
Yeah.
Wow.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Oh, wait. I can't hear the question. What'd you say? It's wiggling like that.
What sound or noise do you hate?
What sound do I hate? Right?
Yeah.
Sirens.
I dig that.
I hate to hear
People that have
some
been to war, there's some recognition there.
all of that. Somebody getting hurt and they got to get them in a siren. You always something when that happens, right? So I don't like hearing no sirens. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I totally, I'm with you on that. What
yeah.
profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Well, my whole goal is to leave this planet a humanitarian in all facets, right? If I can help build hospitals and schools and different ways to help people. Like I said, it doesn't take money all the time. Just need a bunch of people to go. Let's get it done, right?
Yeah.
And I want to see everyone with a home. Now, when I start doing my concerts, I'm gonna ask fans to. Now, let me ask you this now. How many shoes do you think you have in your closet right now?
10 pairs or maybe 11.
11 pairs, right?
Or something
Now,
like that.
do you wear all of them all the time?
Not all the time, but they're like different seasons. And there's some of them are stage shoes, like, for concerts and stuff like that. So I don't have like 10 pairs of walking shoes. I have one pair of walking shoes. The rest are other type of functions. Yeah.
Okay, let's think about the people that got just bags of shoes in their closet and they never wear them, right?
Oh, yeah. I have a friend like that.
Yeah, and they don't wear them. They just hoard them, and Now check this out. What I want to do is give you $10 or £10 off your ticket if you come to me and bring a pair of shoes. I'm going to take the shoes to Africa, where there's a lot of people that don't have shoes.
You got it. I'll bring them.
So you do a concert and everybody brings some shoes. You put them on containers and stuff like that. Send them over to people that doesn't matter. Maybe you don't like to wear no shoes, but at least have the. I'm in Ghana and I'm going down the street and I see these people walking down the street with no shoes. I'm like, hold on. Let's fix that.
I never been to Ghana.
It's beautiful though. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's things that in different countries we could help with, right? Now,
sure.
There's the Women's World Alliance, and I went to a function there, and there was this one guy he said, you know what I did? I from Africa. He said, I went to Las Vegas, and they got all these hotels and stuff like that. Do you know they only use the soap one time? Right? Some of them, they throw it out. Now, there's so many people in different parts of Africa that love to have some soap. So he started going to these hotels and getting all this soap, scrape them off, make soap out of them, and they start giving people. Well, now they can wash with soap. There's so many solutions we can help people with.
It's amazing that we are not aware of the things that we can contribute, because that type of idea would never occur to anyone.
Or even the waste, right? I used to do Bill Gates party. I used to do parties for a lot of the corporate people back in the day in the 90s, right? And we play these functions. They fly us over. We play in a big convention center and all. We get there and they got all this food. Beautiful. Just laying there, flowers in between and fruits all the way down, right? And they would bring these people in on a bus, and they would walk right past the food to the drinks, right?
And they would not eat at all.
When you leave, a lot of that food is right there, and then we got homeless people trying to get a meal.
Here in the Netherlands, there was a law passed 4 years ago, and supermarkets are now not allowed to throw away produce that is past the expiration date but is still fresh. So now they have got to donate that produce to any kind of shelter. So it could be homeless, it could be orphanage, it could be anything. So now it's being utilized, but until then it wasn't, and a lot of things got just thrown out.
And it was what I was telling you about in America. They got 40 million people on unemployment, right? And a lot of people, a lot of those businesses gave up, so they can't go back to their job. As a lot of them are going to be evicted from their homes, and they're not going to have food. Yeah. And then these people are throwing away, these corporate party people are throwing away food like that. These are some, you think about solutions, right? Right?
Yeah. So what profession other than your own would you not like to do?
Wow. I don't know where to start with that. I don't see anything else I'd like to do. Really, but I do like because I'm going to help people out in Ghana and a few African countries too with some music. I got some friends that bring me into different countries to speak to these young people because they don't even have labels, and there's so much talent. They study the West like crazy, right? And so I want to get in there, take some of their groove, hook it up with some grooves from other parts of the world. That's why I'm made by introducing a lot of people from there to different countries so they can write, just like Friction and I did right from Amsterdam, right? He's from Ghana and I'm from Oakland, California, right? That's a long ways in between.
Yeah.
That don't just.
I mean, you're connected, man. It doesn't matter the distance.
The crazy thing is, so we decided to produce that music. Now, I produced it under some reggae, and neither one of us have a Jamaican accent. That's crazy.
Oh, that's okay.
That's crazy in itself.
Come on, Sting's doing reggae. If he can pull it off, he definitely can.
If you like it, that's all that matters, right? So then
exactly.
we do this song, and I'm singing in English, and Friction's singing in the language of Twi in Ghana, right?
Yeah.
2 different languages, and all my friends at home in America go, Skyler, what is he saying? Right?
I don't know.
Exactly. I'm on the record. I don't know what he's doing. So it's beautiful though. Cause now we've done like 4 songs like that, and they all work, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the connection. That's what counts. I did a project last year in the Manchester Jazz Festival with a guy from South Africa, and he was singing in Zulu, and I was singing in Ladino, so it's the language of my grandmother. So he was singing in the language of his grandmother, and we don't speak each other's language, so we just translated it to each other, and I wrote the lyrics for myself phonetically, so I was singing in Zulu. It was a lot of fun.
I love it. There, you know what? It's crazy because there used to be, back in the day, there was a band called Menudo or something. They was like, I think when you get to 18, they would take you out of the band because you're too old, and there was these like, heartthrob little young guys, right? And so I met one of the guys when he was older, and I did a record with him in San Francisco. And so he left and went back to Puerto Rico, where he's from. And one day he called me and said, hey, Skyler, meet me in Miami. I'm going to buy you a ticket to Miami. I want you to come produce this woman. And she's one of the biggest stars in Mexico. She's like the Tina Turner of Mexico, right?
Oh, so that sounds good.
He calls me up and said, man, just produce. Here's the money. I need you to come here. And I thought about it after I got off the phone. And I go, he probably thinks I speak Spanish. I better call him back. And I didn't want to lose the money, right? So I said, so he go, that's all right, Skyler. Come on down. I want you to hear. So I get there, and the guy from the record label, they bring me all this music of her. I'm going to produce her the next day. I never met the woman, and she's huge, right? So I'm in the hotel. They bring me this music. I'm listening to it, going, "Oh my God, this is going to be some work, right?" So he goes, "Skyler, I'm going to get you a couple of sisters from the Dominican, and they'll translate what the song is about, right?" I said, "There's no titles." He said, "No, you're going to have to make them up." So I got these 2 sisters from the Dominican, and I wrote these, and and I'm singing in Spanish, right? I got to sing these. I don't know what the hell I'm saying, but you know, they taught me how to do it, and that song got to #2 at the Grammys for Spanish.
Amazing.
You know what's crazy? Because when I got there, there's like 5 guys in the room. These are actually producers, Mexican producers, right? And they try to figure out, why would they have this guy here that can't speak Spanish produce one of our biggest artists from Mexico? What the hell is that about, right? Her name is Alejandra Guzman, right? So I had this place where I was living at. We had some Mexican sisters came by, and they were working, and I'm trying to get their attention. So I said, "Oh, do you know some big artists?" I named off some people. Ricky, I forget his name. Ricky Martin. You know? Oh yeah, I know Ricky Martin. Yeah. I say, "Oh, okay. Do you know Jennifer Lopez?" They go, "Oh yeah. And but it wasn't until I told them I sang with Alejandra Guzman, they went, "Oh my God!" I mean, nice. Right? Okay, so I played them a couple of songs that I produced on her, and their minds were blown. And I'm thinking to myself, I can't even speak English, and I wouldn't produce this record on this woman that turned out to be one of the best albums, right? So like I said, it's about it's about emotion, right? If you're lucky enough, and you speak in somebody else's language, how beautiful is that, right?
Yeah, that's the way the cultures meet. And music needs no language, really. I mean, it does already all the communication for you. That's exactly why it's so powerful. Yeah.
The most powerful tool.
Oh yeah, it's the most powerful tool that I have to my disposal. I don't know about others.
Yeah, that's it. Well, listen, we're gonna get on stage together. You go bring that trombone out and sing with us, and we're gonna get out there. Let's go have some fun, right? Yeah. Oh, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen.
I want to.
Well, I also want to. I love Rwanda. I did a show in Rwanda,
I haven't been there either.
The people are
haven't visited a lot
beautiful.
Of Africa yet. I mean, I was in Egypt and in Morocco and in Tanzania, but the rest is still, very new to me. Well, I have some friends from South Africa, so I know a little bit about their culture because they tell me stories, but I've never visited.
Yeah. But all we need to do is get a smash hit out in Africa, and they'll invite us, and we can go. That's the coolest thing, right? I remember because I
music, and they siphon into each other.
It does it every time. Berkeley College of Music in Boston.
Yeah.
Okay, a dear friend of mine is like the vocal teacher for that. He's a professor at vocal teaching. He sings with Bobby McFerrin, and
I love. I sang with him once.
He's Bobby McFerrin's bass.
Experience it was.
Yeah, I know. He's Bobby McFerrin's bass singer. He's been with him for like 30 years, right? And so he's doing this thing. They sent him to Rwanda and to teach on off season. And he goes, "Skyler, I want you to come over. I've hooked up with these people. I'm going to have you headline this thing. It's 3 days, and you're going to headline at the end of it." I say, "Okay." I say, "But it's going to cost a lot of money to bring him." He's no. I'm teaching students over here. I'm going to teach them your songs. You just fly in. So I flew in, and it was so beautiful, college kids, and he had them note for note down my songs, right? So I had a little choir. I needed a choir because I was going to do a couple of gospel songs too as well. And he put all that stuff together, and he's like, "Skyler, I'm moving to Rwanda now. And I'm going to want you to come over to do some workshops and stuff like that." Well, I like to get you on those as well.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm game. Absolutely, I'm coming. Let me know.
It's so beautiful. So
send me a recording from that choir thing.
I'm sorry.
Send me a recording from your choir thing in Berkeley with the students.
No, it was in Rwanda. he used the students.
Oh, so he took the students to Rwanda. Oh, I thought you meant that you went to Berkeley first and then later another visit to Rwanda.
He's a professor that they hired to go over to Rwanda. And when he got there, he started teaching students, and he taught them my songs. And I went to go headline over there, and it was the most beautiful experience. This was the best to me of all. Now, after the show was over, I had a song called Nigeria. So what I did, I took the name Nigeria off and put Rwanda.
Oh.
And so when I got over there, we taught the choir. Huh?
Did it fit lyrically? The
Perfect.
Content of
it's one word, right? Rwanda, Nigeria.
Not just that word. I mean, like whatever you wrote about Nigeria was also fitting.
I didn't have to change any of the lyrics at all.
Yeah.
The song is about coming back home to help people here from different countries, And so anyway, so I do this song with this choir, and after I get off, I'm coming down the stairs, and the media rushes up to me. And this brother said, "Thank you, Skyler, man, for doing a song for my country." He said, "We have all these Jay-Z's and all these rappers come over here and their pants hanging down and fuck this, fuck that, and all that. They come over here, man, and we don't get, there's no substance from that. You came over here talking about the environment and how we could help each other." He said, "We need more music like that." They're gonna have me back, and I'm loving that, right? Because I didn't do my music was totally different than everybody else. Love songs, all that, totally different. And it's social conscious, Yeah. So you and I got to write one.
Yalla, let's do it.
Yalla, that's right. Yalla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last question for you, and it's my favorite question in the whole interview. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say? If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you enter the gates?
Welcome.
That's it.
Welcome. Right?
Just one word. Or do you have a sentence?
We're all going. You know what I mean? You just want to go in peace, right? He sees you've been down there working, trying to help people. It's going to be a different experience, I think. But I'll send you some of my gospel music because like I said, my mom, my grandmother, and my auntie were all gospel vocalists, right? So my mom had training. Yeah. My mom was funny because when you leave out of our house, you have to go through the backyard. And then there was an alleyway. And when I go through the alleyway, go up the hill and up to so that was my shortcut instead of going all the way around. But when I leave in the morning, and we were so poor, we didn't have a dryer, right? So she would always just hang the clothes out, right?
Yeah.
So every morning. Okay. So she would always sing this melody. And every morning I'm walking out there and she go, "Baby, shoot, if I could just write some lyrics, I'd be famous." Oh man, woo! Check this melody out, right? So when my mom died in 1991, I wrote lyrics to her melody and did it with a friend of mine. And it's funky and it's called Glory Hallelujah. He go, "What you gonna call it?" And I'm thinking, I gotta have a real gospel name, right? Glory Hallelujah. You can't get nowhere. You definitely know what it's about now.
Yeah.
I'll send you the song. Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being a part of this. It's been amazing to talk to you.
Thank you for inviting me, and love to all your fans, and nice to meet all you guys.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here and for, sending us like these beautiful comments. You should read them later on in the thread. We have like really nice people that watched us and gave us a lot of love. Send them love from me and peace and man, good vibrations and positive vibrations, and stay positive. All of you guys, that's all we got. We have to stay positive. And it's better for your health if you're calm. You know what I mean? Stay positive. It's going to be all right. Yeah. Maybe you don't have a Jamaican accent, but you do have the spirit.
Hey, spread the love. That's where you did. That's what you get back. Remember, I was telling you, if you're negative, that's what you're going to draw to you, right? I go out. I go out and find people that they have a beautiful heart and they want to spread love. I'm safe with them. So I can get through my day with that. Just going around positive people, and it's going to be all right kind of people, right? Instead of it's just doom and gloom, and it's going to be bad. I can't even hang with those people. I get out of the room. Yeah.
You get out of the room. I like that. It's like, I'm not interested. Thank you. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Wait. Last thing. So my mom didn't drive. So I remember the first time she dropped me off at a birthday party by myself. I must have been about 7 or 8. And she said something that was so profound. She said, baby, I'm going to go shopping. And she was on the bus, right? She going to drop me off with these kids, a lot of kids I didn't know. Right? You know how scary that is, right? So she said, when you walk in the room, first listen. Listen to all the people talking loud and cussing each other out and all that kind of stuff like that. She said, what you do is you just cut that side of the room off and you'll have fun with all these other people.
Yeah.
That's common sense. Yeah, so when people negative, I don't even go over there. I can't even hang.
Musicians always ask me, how do you network? Well, first of all, I hate the word networking because I don't think it works at all. It's not about networking. It's about making genuine connections with people, real friendships. That's right. And if you can't stand that person, when you're drinking beer for 15 minutes, you're not going to be able to work with them. That's right. Definitely you don't want to get stuck with him on the road when the flight is delayed and you're missing your concert and you're stuck for 24 hours at customs. You don't want to be with anybody in the situation who is less of a friend, Yeah. So what I tell them, when you come into a party, imagine that you're going to a party. And if you're an introvert person, you might end up talking to 2 or 3 people, one-on-one conversations during the evening. Imagine that you do the same. You're going to a trade fair. Talk to the people you like. Eventually, they will become your friends. And maybe work will follow, maybe it won't. But worst case scenario, you will make a friend. And that's not worst case scenario in my eyes,
That's the whole social. That's the whole social thing. Like, you go to a party, you're right. You're only going to really talk to 2 or 3 people in there, right? And but that one person could mean everything. That one person might have the solution you've been looking for, right? And you go, I do this, and they go, oh, I do that. Oh, let me introduce them. Not all 4 of them going to do that, but 1 or 2 of them might be in your field, right? And we find people, but like I say, I only go hang. I don't have time to hang out with people that don't have any drive. They haven't found out what they want to do yet, and they're 50 years old. I come on now. What are you waiting for, right? See, I guess I've been blessed because I've been doing this all my life since I was 10 years old, right? And you have to find what you want to do in life. Go find the people that resonate with that spirit and get yourself involved there, but whatever you want to do. If you want to be a fireman, or I don't care, you still got to go hang out with those kind of people to learn the trade, right? And but my favorite people are music lovers, right? Whether you play music or not, you have the sense I could put on a song and make me feel better about that. And there's a lot of them like that, right? You can put on a song and take you away from all the negativity you had all day at work. You put this song and it's like you're back. That's the beauty of music, and that's the beauty of the delivery of the emotion of it, right?
Yeah, I agree. Thank you.
Blessings. Thanks for having me. Yeah. All right, now it's next week. We do some music when I come to Amsterdam.
Oh yeah, come down and we'll have some food and we'll make some music.
And you can meet some of my friends that's there, right? Yeah. A lot of great. Yeah, man. What's that, brother? There's a Dolphin. Do you know that club, Dolphin?
Yeah, I've played there a few times.
Yeah. That's a cool vibe. the keyboard player. I know the keyboard player, and you know, I mean, it's. I think they just have it in the wintertime, right?
Well, I don't know. Well, now there's nothing because of Corona, but both my gigs were in the winter. So if I look back,
Friday nights in the winter in Amsterdam at the Dolphins. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Much love, sister.
To you too. Thank you.
Yeah.
And see you very soon, eh?
Peace always, right? Much love.
Ciao. To you.
Ciao, Bella.
All right. So thank you so much for joining us today. As you know, YDIY Music offers scholarships for independent musicians. To register, go to ydiymusic.com/scholarship and submit the application form. All donations for this podcast will be used to help young musicians get a proper education. So please visit ydiymusic.com/donate to make your contribution, or send a direct PayPal transfer to paypal.me/Noam Vazana. And if you want to join us next week, I would recommend it highly, because on Thursday, August 20th, I will be interviewing Gunhild Carling, an amazing brass sister from Sweden. And she's also a DIY artist and, a trombone, let's say, phenomenon. And together we will look into Gunhild's amazing subscribers program and explore tools for DIY musicians to reach a larger fan base on their own by basically offering exclusive content on a regular basis. In the meantime, good luck, keep calm, and DIY. See you next week.